Yeah, welcome to Point to Point channel. So, as part of Java 8 series, today I will discuss about the sorting techniques for a list of elements. Yeah, without wasting time, let's jump into the coding part. Yeah. So here, if you see, um, yeah, I have some list of strings. Okay. So prior to Java 8, we used to do a sorting for a list of elements using collections.sort method. So something like this. Here, if you see collections.sort method, I just passed my no list reference. Okay. So when I print this, obviously it will print in a sorting order. Here, if you see, it has already printed database, Docker. Okay, everything is printed in a sorting order, right? So now in the case of Java 8, what they have done, okay, so in addition to this sort method which was there in the collections class, okay, they also introduced the same sort method even in the list interface also. Okay, so then so here if you see, so courses is a list, right? So courses dot sort method, here you can see this is the sort method. So basically this sort method expects a argument which is nothing but a comparator, right? So here if you see this is sort, here we are supposed to pass a comparator in the sense on what basis you want to sort elements of a list. So you are supposed to give your criteria, your comparator criteria, or how in which way you want to sort. Okay, so for example, I want to sort based on the length of the strings. Let's assume if you don't pass anything, if you pass null, then by default it will just sort in alphabetical order. That's clear. Why? Because here if you see, I will show you. See, in the collections.sort method, here you can see clearly list.sort of null it is passing, right? So that means if you don't pass anything, by default it will sort in the alphabetical order. In case if you want any specific sorting order, then you need to give a implementation to the comparator. Okay, so for example, here I am giving implementation to based on the length of the strings. Okay, so obviously everyone knows comparator is an interface in which we have a compare method. That compare method expects a two arguments, right? So here if you see, I'm just passing those two arguments. Okay, let's say s1 comma s2. Okay, so I'm just giving the implementation using the lambda expression. So for example, s1 dot length, okay, so minus s2 dot length. So for example, okay, so if I give something like this, then if I print, okay, so let me run this. So now we will get a output, based on the length of the strings. Okay, that means the shortest string first, then followed by the longest string, something like that. So here if you see, it has printed, right, Java, Ruby, something like that, right? So in Java 8, this is how we used to do a sort of sorting for a list of list of elements. Okay, so now here if you observe one thing, okay, so this sorting, whatever we have done, this one straight away we have applied on the particular list, right? So that's why here if you see, whenever I print this particular list, okay, then it's printing in a sorting order, right? So now uh, let's assume we don't want to modify the list, or we don't want to touch our original list, but then even then we want to do a sorting. Okay, so if you are having this kind of requirement, then you need to think about streams concept. Okay, so in the streams, obviously earlier I have already covered about the streams concept. In the streams we do have n number of intermediate operations. Okay, so basically it will your original collection would be intact. I mean, it will never change due to your streams operations. Okay, so then I mean, whatever you are interested, your requirement like filtering, mapping or sorting, whatever you want, you can perform using the streams operation. So every time it will create a new stream or something like that. Okay, so end of the day your original collection would be the same thing, it will never change. Okay, so now I will show you how to do using the streams concept. Okay, so here if you see, so let me use this. Okay, uh, okay. So here if you see how we need to do using streams, obviously we need to take courses, okay, dot stream, obviously. So this stream was there in the collection interface, right? So list is extending collection interface, so by that way we are able to invoke the stream method. So basically this is a default method. Okay, now obviously now it will return a stream. So now here if you see sorted method, the first one, see sorted method is there, right? So this sorted method, okay, here it is not expecting any kind of parameters. So right, so now you may have one doubt. Okay, now I am not passing any kind of criteria, the sorting criteria. Then how it will sort? So by default, it will sort in a alphabetical order. Alphabetical order, in the case of strings. Why? Because the string already implements a comparable interface, and it has already given the implementation to compare to method. So that's why you no need to pass anything. By default, it will sort the strings in a alphabetical order. you know so that's why here you no need to pass anything. So let's assume, okay, so now let me print this. So for each, okay, so for example, system.out.println. Okay, so if I do something like this, okay, so here if you see the output, now we will get the output based on the alphabetical order, that sorting. Okay, here I will show you. Yeah, so here if you see database Docker, everything, we have got a sorted output based on the alphabetical order. So here you no need to pass anything. So if you don't pass anything, obviously, it will do a sorting based on the alphabetical order, right? So here, let me show you the API. See, the same thing. Okay, sorted method. But here there is one condition. So whatever the list you are using, so that the generic type, your list of elements generic type, that should implement a comparable interface. Okay, and it should give implementation to that compare to method. Then only this sorted method will work. Okay, otherwise it will throw simply a class cast exception. That's what here you can find in the comments. Okay, so now we do have one more flavor. Okay, so here if you see the below one sorted method, here it is expecting a comparator. Now you want to sort based on your own requirement. Okay, then you need to invoke the second flavor, in which you need to pass a comparator. Okay, so now here if you see, so let's assume now I want to sort based on the length of the strings. Okay, um, okay, so yeah, so let me comment this. Okay, here let me print my original collection once again. So I just want to show you. So our original collection is intact. Okay, so here it will print the sorted list, and as well as our original collection. So our original collection is um, is intact. Okay, here if you see, yeah, so here if you see, this is the original, I mean, sorted output, right? And after that, here you can see Java, Spring Boot, everything is there, right? So it just printed in its in its natural way. So that means your original collection did not change anything. Okay, so I just want to prove that point. Okay, so uh, now let me remove this. Okay, so now I want to sort based on the length of the string. So then let me copy this. Okay, so here stream sorted. Okay, using comparator. Okay, so here the same thing here. Now we need to pass the implementation for the comparator based on the length of the strings. Okay, so the same thing here, already I gave implementation, right? Okay, let me copy this. So here you need to just pass something like this. Okay, so here let me run this. So obviously, it will sort based on the length of the strings. Yeah, so here if you see, yeah, so here if you see length of the string Java, Ruby, and followed by it will print the longest strings, Spring Boot or something like that, right? So now if I place the cursor here, it is clearly saying that, okay, you can replace this particular lambda expression using what do you say, uh, this one using method reference. So here if I see, if I simply uh, sorry, not- so not method reference, I mean using comparator. Okay, so what is this comparator dot comparing int, right? So it is saying, so now I will show you. So here if you see, yeah, in the comparator, they just introduced the few static methods. Here, if you see, these are the all static methods. Okay, so in the static methods, we have some generic comparing method and comparing int, comparing long, comparing double. So many static methods are there, right? So now, based on our requirement, simply you can invoke any one of the static method, and each static method is expecting some kind of function. So in that function, right? The function is a functional interface. Obviously, we need to give a implementation for your sorting technique. So right, so that's why our IntelliJ is giving a suggestion. Okay, why you have given a implementation using a lambda expression when we have already have some predefined static methods within the comparator interface itself. Okay, so now the same logic, okay, it just replaces something like this: comparator dot comparing int. Okay, so string colon colon length. So right, I mean, so it's kind of a short way of writing a lambda expression. So now also we will get the same same output. Okay, I hope you understand. So basically, comparing int is a static method introduced in a comparator interface. Now, if we invoke this one here, we need to just pass a implementation for that function. So that is the int function. So this is the implementation string colon colon length. Obviously, you can write a lambda expression also. See here, you got the same output, right? So now let's assume I want to do a sorting in a based on the length of the strings only, but in a reverse order. Okay, so for that, okay, so for that, what I need to do, uh, yeah. So here using comparator uh, in reverse order. So here for that, what we need to do, okay, uh, see, I'm just removing this comparing int. Why? Because in the normal comparing method, we do have two flavors. Okay, so we do have two flavors here. If you uh, see see this comparing method is there, right? Here there is only one particular method function which we have already seen. I mean, in the case of comparing int, we have already used. Now I'm talking about normal comparing in the sense it could be any type. In that case you can use this comparing. Here if you just see one more method, we do have one more flavor in which two arguments, first one is a function and second one is a comparator. Okay, I'm going to make use of this particular flavor. Okay, so I'm going to pass the second argument as a comparator, right? So now here if you see the second argument, so comparing int, okay, comparing sorry, comparing, okay, um, comparing, so comparator dot reverse order. Okay, so what I did now, I just invoked this comparing method which is of this particular flavor. Okay, which is expecting two arguments, first one is a function and second one is a comparator. Okay, so in the comparator, so the first argument, I am interested to sort based on the length of the strings, and in the second argument I'm just saying, okay, once you get the output, just reverse the sorting order. Okay, so now if I just print this, okay, if I just run this, okay, now you will see the output something like this: the longest string first it will print, and followed by the shortest string, something like that. Okay, so just wait for a while. Yeah, here you can see spring boot is the longest string. So so by that way we can fulfill the requirement. Okay, so now the next case. Okay, in case if any two strings are equal, okay, equal in the length, okay, then I want to sort based on their based on their alphabetical order. Okay, for example. Okay, so in that case what we need to do, okay, uh, yeah, so in that case, so let me differentiate. Okay, so yeah, so I want to do sorting. Okay, let's keep it as it is. Okay, now I'm just printing length, strings based on their length, right? That too in a reverse order. So now what we need to do, Okay. um, Sorted comparator dot comparing int. Okay. um, so yeah, dot, then, okay, then comparing, okay, then comparing. Okay, so then comparing in the sense, this particular piece, comparator dot comparing of this particular piece, right? So basically this will return a comparator. So we are going to invoke one more method on the returned comparator, that is then comparing. So then comparing, when it will come into picture, in case if any two strings are having a same length, okay, same length, then it will get ambiguity, right? Then we are just informing, in case if you get this type of situation, uh, no, just sort those particular strings based on their alphabetical order. Okay, so so here then comparing, what I'm going to do, I'm just saying comparator. Okay, comparator dot natural order. Natural order in the sense, natural sorting order, alphabetical order. Okay, so here let me run this. Yeah, so here if you see Spring Boot, okay, uh, so here if you see Docker and Python, both are having same length, right? 6 characters. So uh, so D comes first, right? I mean D comes prior to P. So obviously you have got Docker and Python, right? So now in case, I mean, if you want to do a sorting for these two strings, I mean specific to Docker and Python in a reverse order, then you are supposed to pass here comparator dot reverse order. Okay, here the same thing, comparator dot reverse order. So yeah, so here if you see, yeah, so here just you need to pass here reverse order. So let me run the same program once again. So here now you will see Python Docker. I mean this same kind of sorting, but in case of the strings which are having the same length, it will do a sorting in a reverse order. So Python and Docker. Here if you see clearly Python and Docker. First Python, then followed by Docker. I hope it is clear. Okay. Uh, yeah, so yeah, we are good with respect to the strings. Okay, now I will show you, the list of employees. Okay, how we need to do a sorting in the case of a list of employees. Employee is a custom poser, right? So now, um, okay, so here let me create no a list of employee. So I'm saying employees. Okay, employee dot create employee. Yeah, so I will show you. So I have some static method with my custom poser employee. Okay, here if you see here, I'm just creating some bunch of employees. So by invoking the static method, I just created some list of employees. That's it. Okay, so now I want to invoke the stream method based on the employees. Okay, not based on the courses. Okay, so employees dot stream, up to here it is clear. Okay, now see, let's see what happens if I no, if I don't pass any argument. Okay, let's see, if I am not passing any kind of argument, I am just straight away invoking a normal sorted method. Let's assume. Okay, um, so let me remove this one also. Yeah, yeah, so far we are good. Now immediately it will throw the class cast exception. So sometime before I already told, right, your generic type, I mean whatever the list, list of elements you are having, right, those should implement a comparable interface, otherwise it will throw a class cast exception if you invoke a sorted method straight away. So here if you see class cast exception, why? Because here if you see employee, okay, employee, I mean it has not implemented any comparable interface, right? Okay, so let's assume, let's implement that. Okay, let's implement that, and I will show you implements comparable. Okay, comparable. Okay, so let's give a implementation. Okay, compare to. Okay, so So here, what I'm going to do, this dot length. Okay, sorry, sorry. I want to sort based on the let's assume based on the salary. Okay, I want to sort based on the salary. So this dot salary, okay, salary minus. Okay, so this is O. We need to typecast, right? We need to typecast, right? So dot get salary. Okay, get salary. So then so see, I have 1 second. Uh, Sorry. Yeah. See, I have given implementation, so I am interested to sort employees based on their salary. So that's why I just implemented a comparable interface. I have given implementation to compare to method. So now it will not throw any kind of exception. So now I will run the same program once again. Now it will not throw any class cast exception. Why? Because we are clear. I mean, uh, we just inform to compiler. Okay, so we are interested to sort based on the salary, employee salary. So here if you see, so first 24,000, then followed by 25,000 or something like that. It has already done sorting based on their salary, right? So far we are good. So now, uh, so now, let me copy this. So I don't want to create once again. Now I want to sort employees based on their age. Okay, based on their age. So here, in the sorted method, I want to give you implementation in such a way that I want to sort based on their age, right? So, here there are two ways. Either you can give a straight away implementation to that comparator based on their age, or the second way is you can make use of the static method from the comparator interface, right? So, no, let me invoke comparator dot, okay, comparing, okay, comparator dot, okay, uh, sorry, dot comparing. So see, if it is age means obviously integers, right? Here you can use integers. So then comparing int is a preferable method. Okay, if you are sure that your elements are integers. Okay, so comparing int. Here obviously we need to give implementation to the function interface, right? So straight away I will give employee based on the age. So something like this, right? So now let me print the output. So okay, so this time it will just simply sort the employees based on their age. Okay, so I mean it will print the first employee whose age is less than all the employees or something like that. Okay, so it's still running. So here if you see in the, I mean, it will print it, no, this third employee whose age is 22 first. Okay, yes, it's taking a bit more time. Yeah. So yeah, here if you see it has printed this particular employee, right? I mean Ashok, whose age is 22. He's a youngest guy, right? So that means the sorting is done based on the age. I hope it is clear, right? So now here if you observe, so 22, next second employee age is 32 and third employee age is 32. That means second and third employees are having a same age, right? So in case if two employees are having a same age, then again we can inform to the compiler. Okay, in that case you can take a call based on their based on their name. Okay, so then so here if you see, so for example, Shravan and Ashish, right? So for example, I want to print something like that, Ashish and Shravan. Okay, so then what we need to do? Okay, so here, so then comparing. Okay, then comparing. Okay, so here comparator dot natural order. So natural order in the sense, I mean, it will simply print Ashish first, followed by Shravan. Okay, so here if you see, So then comparing will come into picture only in case of two employees are getting ambiguity. Okay, ambiguity in the sense, I mean, they are having a same values in the case of sorting. Okay, then whatever criteria you pass in the case of in for then comparing, then that will come into picture for those strings which are having ambiguity. Okay, so here if you see, I think, did I run this? Yeah. uh, 1 second. So 32 Shravan and Asif. Okay, it is not printed, right? Comparator dot comparing int, then comparing comparator dot natural order. Okay, natural order. Okay, okay, 1 second. 32, 42. Okay, so something went wrong. Comparing int dot then comparing string dot sorted. Oh, okay, okay, okay. So yeah, so here, we need to give, so I have given a comparator dot natural order. We are supposed to give, based on the strings name, right? So for that, what we need to do? Okay, um, so uh, so not string, sorry, employee colon name. Okay, get name. So this one. So employee colon get name. Okay, so now, yeah, we need to invoke this one. Sorry. So what does it mean? So first, initially we are sorting the employees based on their age. In case if any two employees are having the same age, then I'm just informing that to the compiler, saying that in the then comparing, I'm just saying employee this get name. So then take a call based on their name. So here if you see clearly it has printed Ashish, right? Then followed by Shravan, right? So now, no. I want to do a reverse. I want to print Shravan first, then followed by Ashish. Okay. So then in that case, you know, so here let me write the same thing. Okay, in that case, here, you need to pass the same reverse thing. Okay, so comparator dot reverse order. Okay, let me print. Okay, so in this case 100% it will print first Ashish followed by Ashish, sorry, first Shravan followed by Ashish. So why? Because in the then comparing you mentioned that, okay, I am interested to sort based on their name, that too in a reverse order. Okay, so you know so here if you see Shravan and followed by Ashish, so that's what we got, right? So so this is how we can do a sorting in the case of a list of strings or list of employees or any custom poso. So basically, just try to remember one thing. In the case of streams, you need to invoke this sorted method. If you invoke a sorted method without passing any argument, then basically it will do a sorting. Based on the implementation whatever you provided for the compare to method. Why? Because your custom poser should implement a comparable interface. No, otherwise it will throw a class cast exception. In the case of strings, you no need to worry. String has already given implementation to a comparable interface. Okay, so so that's why the same sorted method will work, right, in the case of strings. So I mean, we do have one more flavor for the same sorted method. There you need to pass a comparator implementation, comparator interface implementation. So based on your interest, based on your requirement, you need to give implementation to the second flavor. Okay. So here I have shown, how to do a sorting based on their age or something like that. So I hope it is clear. Okay. So if you really like this video, please like and share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.